Hello, Landers family. Jeremy here from Southern Polescapes. I have to apologize for being about a day late on this. I spent a lot of time on the road this week and not behind my computer, and I really wanted to do your design justice. So I was a little motivated by it because you guys were so involved in the design process. So I wanted to make sure I gave you the time and attention that you deserved. With that said, what we're going to do is take a look at your design. I put a lot more stuff in it, and I think you're going to love it. But I also want to make sure that we are really focusing on the proposal and reiterating a lot of the things that you had learned while we were at your house the other day. So I apologize for the casual attire. This is the weekend. I was out with the family earlier today, and I figured you wouldn't mind too much if I was casually dressed, especially if I was able to put a lot more time into your design. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and look at your design, and then we'll switch over to your proposal. Okay, what you see here is a view of your design. I do not have the enclosure in the picture yet, and I do not have the furniture in the picture and landscaping. You're going to see that very, very soon, but I wanted to give you an unobstructed view of what we have so far. So far what we have is your pool right here in the middle and your spa off to the right. You see this little channel that we developed to give you a bigger spillover, but with the back end that you can sit on and easily get in and out of the spa. I know you wanted this bench area, but what I did was I expanded that bench back a little bit to put a little bit of a planter because the planter was a big focus for you guys, planters in general. So I wanted to find another spot to put a little bit more nature involved in that. So I put that in the bench for you. Also, I expanded this kitchen, this outdoor kitchen. Now, I know that you had mentioned you wanted a pizza oven right here by the window, but I didn't want to block your view of the pool. Now I'm happy to put it over there. So just, if you want it over there, I'm happy to put it over there. Excuse me, I'm talking and moving around at the same time here. So, but I just, once again, I want to make sure that you are able to, see the pool from outside, from inside rather, no matter where you're standing, inside the house or sitting or anywhere in the house. I want to make sure that you could see everything. So what I did instead was I put a couple beer taps in here with a couple drawers where you can have some small kegs, like half kegs, one half keg on each side, and then a refrigerator. I put the pizza oven over here on the left, and then the grill out here further away because we didn't want that outdoor grill under any solid roof because I didn't want to it to get too hot above, right? Because the heat from that grill can scorch anything above it, so we want to be careful with that. Now, we have a dark interior. Well, one thing I want to point out is I took the facade of the kitchen and I wanted to match that stacked stone on other vertical elements. So what I did was I used stacked stone on the back of the raised spa, on the little raised bench here, on the fire pit, which I know you guys are putting a fire pit there, so we wouldn't build that. And then, of course, the kitchen itself to give you a little bit of uniformity, kind of tying things together there. Now, with the rock feature, I did estimate the cost of the rock feature, but in the notes there, you're going to see in the proposal that I have to wait for a final number. Now, you have a couple different options. You can do a faux rock, which will work. It's going to be the more affordable price point, probably about $3,000 for the faux rock feature, and then another a little bit for we have to do the plumbing and the actual water coming out. So I priced those two things out for you. Just keep in mind, natural rock is going to be about 3 times as much as a faux rock solution, and scheduling that is very, very difficult. It can cause some delays in finishing the project because we have to import both the materials and the talent to do it because neither live here in this area. So I just wanted to make sure I was very transparent with that. But you do see the little planters on the side. And I curbed out the back arc of the planters so that you have a transition from the planter to the turf. We have a nice big spillover in the spa area with a wraparound bench, which is really promoting a lot of community. If you build this pool, especially if I build it for you. I hope I can come and throw a party for you guys and entertain for you with the music and some food and a dance lesson. I would really love to swim in that pool. Just saying. Now, we have the equipment pad over here past that second window. This is going to be a 4 foot by 9 foot or a 4 foot by 12 foot pad with a heat pump and a gas heater, your cartridge filtration, and your pump. Now, so that is the view as it stands with without the enclosure, without landscaping, without furniture. So I'm going to go to 2D really quick, and I'm going to grab a couple things here. Let's first grab all of the furniture and the landscaping and unhide that. And then you're going to see what I put in here. So I put these palm trees in the back outside the enclosure. I went ahead and added an oversized umbrella over the spa that can pivot and swivel wherever you want it. Of course, we have the ledge loungers on the tanning ledge itself with an umbrella. And we have the um, the fire pit. I put some landscaping into the actual bench here. You are going to need this landscaping to hide that equipment pad from the street, and that's per the HOA. And then I put some landscaping in the planters as well, and I put some potted plants back here in the corner as well as those palm trees outside the enclosure. I put some food and drinks on the tables and just some decor and some furniture to sit on. So I wanted to fill that space. And then you're going to see a TV on the wall as well. And I'm going to raise that up a little bit, but this light should be just a little higher. And I believe this window is going to be higher as well. So we're going to put that right there. Very good. And I think these windows are all going to be a little higher than when we have them. I did raise the windows already over on where that kitchen is because I wanted to make sure that that kitchen was not blocking the windows, and we know that we have a good height on those windows. So I'm going to put these at 3 foot elevation off of the deck. There we go. So that's where your doors, windows, everything are at. Now let's unhide something else. So let's go back to 2D, and we are going to grab the enclosure itself, and we're going to unhide that and bring it in. Boom, there you go. So you've got an enclosure here. Mansard style roof, a couple doors, one door on each side. I did the panoramic view, taking out the vertical supports on the back wall. And if we make this nighttime, you're going to see that I did put some lights on the posts of the enclosure. Now, I didn't price the lights out on the enclosure because we don't do that work, and I couldn't even begin to price those, but I do have the source for you if you want to get those priced out. But if we back out here, you're going to see, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful solution. Doors on the outside. So I have a door on this side and a door on the other side. You make it dusk. There we go. You have some steam coming out of the spa. There we go. I put some ceiling fans in the solid panel for you. Make it daytime. Look from up above. There you go. Awesome. Now, the last little finishing touch is, yes, we did have some people in there, and I'm going to unhide the people, and now we're going to take a look at what it looks like with people in the pool and in the spa. So there you go. You have a beautiful design. I hope you love it. And now I want to take you all the way over to the proposal. And you're going to see some really cool pictures on the proposal as well. Well, now we're back with your proposal itself. So on this first page, you're going to see a beautiful picture from the patio, the covered patio, looking out towards the pool. 3 more pictures. You see Brian and I trying to look really cute, trying hard, in our contact information right there. And you go down, you're going to see 8 more pictures taken from different angles, different times of the day. I really want to give you a good idea, even from inside, what this solution is going to look like. Now, as we move on, you are going to see your personal information. So, Deanna, of course, I've got your email here and phone number because that's you're the one who submitted the request. We do have an expiration date on every proposal. It's always 2 weeks out from the creation of the proposal, but I do not expect the prices to change much over the next few months. So I don't want you to worry about that expiration date. You'll see maybe a little bit of movement up or down in price, but completely insignificant. Now, with the pool package, we have a 361 square feet of surface area in the swimming pool. Your envelope is 20 1/4 by 28 3/4 for the pool itself, and then 97.5 perimeter. Your deep end, or I'm sorry, your shallow end is 3.5 feet. Your deep end is 5 feet. And then the structural wall. Now, we talked about the structural wall. I wanted to reiterate some of this stuff because your structural wall is the bond beam itself is going to be like the white rim on that red Solo cup that you see there. If the white rim were compromised, like cut or broken, you're going to see that cup collapse in your hand. And the white rim on the Solo cup is the same thing as functionally as the bond beam on your pool, which is what your coping sits on. So that bond beam really needs to be as strong as possible. Now, there are builders that just don't build bond beams on pools because it's not required by code in Florida. But if you go to other states that are more strict in their code, like California, they always have a bond beam. And the bond beam is incredibly important for the structural integrity of the pool. It's one of the reasons why we're going to give you a lifetime warranty that doesn't prorate and is transferable to a new owner if you were to sell your home. Now, we do number 4 steel in the bond beam. Now, I want you to think of like this. I want you to think of the number 4 steel being twice as strong as number 3 steel. And I think you guys held a couple pieces of the steel when we were at your home. It's going to be a 12-inch bond beam on center. And it's going to be the strongest pool that you're going to see built in the region. Now, the waterline tile, you're initially priced out for 6x6-inch tile, but you're going to see a lot of upgrade options below. The coping, you're always priced out to begin with 6x12-inch travertine in a few different colors there, but you can upgrade from there as well. Your interior finish right now is priced out for pebble quartz, and that's a pebble quartz plaster. You don't want pebble quartz plaster. I'm going to show you the better options, the pebble aggregate finish, which we talked about extensively at your home below. But once again, I wanted to price this out as a standard package at kind of like the lowest price point you can get, and then show you what all your enhancements are by line item so you can tell me what to put back into the proposal. As we move down, you're going to see that, obviously the steps, benches, ledges are per the design. And then the pump itself, if we look at the pump, this is the starting point of how our pools are going to be far cheaper to own, far easier to take care of. They're going to last forever. Even the equipment is going to last 2 to 3 times longer as a standard pool. And I want to teach you why. So let's look at this pump. We're going to take a look. That's a 2.7 horsepower TriStar XL variable speed commercial grade pump. Commercial grade meaning it's undergone far more rigorous testing than any residential pump to get that designation. So just by nature, it's going to last longer and perform better. It's going to weather the storm much better than a residential pump, but that's also a 2.7 horsepower pump, which is going to be almost a full horsepower bigger than our competitors are going to offer. We're going to dial that down about 50%, which is going to save you about 25% in electricity with that adjustment alone, increasing the size of the pump and reducing the capacity. Now, you want to make sure that you don't let anybody put a bigger pump on your pool that does not have the proper plumbing. Wrong picture. So we are going to put 3-inch suction plumbing on that main drain, which is going to allow us to pull water effectively out of the pool and capitalize on the strength of that pump. We don't want to be like this guy that's trying to suck a milkshake through a straw that's too small, and he looks like he's about to blow a gasket, and we don't want him to blow a gasket, and we certainly don't want your pump to blow a gasket, which will happen if you put a bigger pump on small plumbing. So don't let anybody sell you an oversized pump with small plumbing. Now, if we move down a little bit further, you're going to see the AquaRite S3. That's the salt cell, 40K salt system. And that salt cell is the most efficient salt cell on the market. This salt cell, now just to give you a little bit of context, and I know I mentioned this with you, the ocean is 35,000 parts per million salt content. A teardrop's 9,000 parts per million. Most salt cells are going to live they're going to operate at about 6,000 parts per million to 4,000 parts per million. And the lower it can operate, the better. This salt cell can go as low as 800 parts per million and still create chlorine that will be used to sanitize your pool. So you have the ability to adjust this up and down to make for a more comfortable swim experience, but also a more efficient sanitization process. So it is the best salt cell on the market right now. Now, as we move down to the next page, you're going to see 2 Hayward Color Logic lights. They're going to make your pool glow beautifully. A lot of different colors you can cycle through. You can control that from the automation on your phone. A little bit next line is going to be our MDX R3 main drain. This is a debris accepting main drain that's going to pull out debris as big as a walnut. And that's another reason why we want that 3-inch plumbing as well, because we want to be able to pull debris out of the bottom of the pool. But how's that debris going to get pushed over there? Well, we'll get to there in a second. But first, we also have a suction point on 2 skimmers. So this is a Venturi, a Paraskim Venturi skimmer, which is going to be the Venturi action where we add airflow to the suction, is going to strengthen the suction by 100%. So it's twice as strong as a typical skimmer, but the basket capacity is also 3 times as big on each skimmer. So you're not emptying them as often. And when your skimmers get full, then it causes the pump to have to work harder. So you don't want them to get full quickly. So that large capacity is very helpful. Now, how are we going to push that debris towards the main drain? We're going to talk about our EcoPool system. So an ordinary pool is going to have 4 to 6 returns built into the walls close to the surface of the water. And the reason that this is not a good idea is because as the water comes in, first of all, those returns are all going to work off of a single line. So you have one line that splits into 4 to 6 lines, which is going to give you weak water pressure, anemic water flow. That's really bad because there's nothing that's causing the water to churn inside your pool. So when those chemicals are carried into your pool through those highly positioned returns that are all working off a single line, there's nothing to mix it through the whole body of water. And then those chemicals like to float on top and then evaporate off the top. And this is why so many people have a hard time balancing the chemistry in their pool. Well, we're going to do option, the second 2 diagrams here, where we're going to put 3 rotating returns on the bottom of the pool that look like this right here. So those are the rotating returns, and you can see those in the book we left you. All right. But as those returns turn on every 3 minutes, so it's going to alternate between 3 wall returns and 3 floor returns every 3 minutes or so. Now only 3 returns are working at any given time, which is going to double the strength of the water pressure, which is now really pushing that water that's carrying the chemicals into your pool from low and high, and it's churning that water, making sure those chemicals mix and they're not evaporating off the top, which makes it very easy to balance the chemicals. When you add temperature control to your pool, it makes those floor returns even more important, because if you don't have floor returns but you're operating a heat pump, your pool is going to have hot and cold spots. There's nothing that's forcing that water to churn and mix the temperature controlled water in with the cold water. Or if you want to chill the water, the same thing, right? Because our heat pumps will chill as well. So you're going to further reduce your energy costs down to about 10% of what a normal pool is going to operate if you have temperature control on it, because we can heat and chill your pool extremely efficiently. Your heat pump is not going to work nearly as much with our system as it would with the standard pool. So it's really going to be the difference between, maybe $2,000 a year in electricity or more, and about $500 to $800 of electricity. Ours is going to be that lower number. All right, so that's the EcoPool. Now we're going to move down. We have our paralevel, so autofill and our paralevel overflow and autofill features. Can you believe that builders are building pools without an autofill, meaning that customers are going to have to put a hose in their pool? That is very old school. Autofills have been around for ages. There's no reason people shouldn't put them on a pool, but they're often built that way to chase the bottom price just to get into your yard. They won't talk about those enhancements until you sign a contract, so you got to be very careful. And then they're going to charge you 2 to 3 times as much as what we would charge. So we do have the overflow and autofill. You're never going to have to put a hose in your pool. And then any overflow action that's going to happen as a result of heavy rains, that extra water is going to be siphoned out of the pool and into the normal drainage pattern of your yard, not overflow out of the pool and onto your deck where it can cause damage. Hopefully that makes sense for you. Then you're going to have your automation, which is all going to work off an app on your phone. So I don't want to go into too many details, but you want to make sure that all the equipment that I put on your pool is the same manufacturer, because that's going to make the automation work properly. So a lot of builders are going to promise automation, but then they're going to mix and match equipment based on the cheapest thing they can find at that moment, and then you're going to have problems with the automation later. So be careful there. Now, if you want a heat pump, you have that beautiful heat pump. This has, I believe it's 85% less braze points, which is where braze points are where really weld points inside the system. So the less weld points that you have inside that the heat pump itself, the less opportunity for it to leak. It's also about 50 pounds lighter than its competitors, and has a smaller footprint as well. So it's really the best heat pump on the market right now. All right. So moving on down, you're going to see that I don't have any enhancements listed here, but I do have the spa package. So 38.5 square feet. It's a 7 foot spa, basically. It's a 7 foot diameter, 3 feet deep. You've got your 6x6 waterline tile, which is the standard to start. Pebble interior finish, which I don't want you to buy, but I'd rather get you the instead of pebble quartz plaster, you'd get pebble aggregate finish, a pebble tech finish, which you'll see down below. Travertine to match the pool for the coping. You have a pump that's going to share. You share the same pump with the pool. You're going to share the same filter with the pool, but you will have another dedicated MDX R3 debris accepting main drain. You have 6 jets in there. You have 1 LED light in there, and then you have 3 air vents to create those strong jets that you're going to want, and then 2 returns, which are going to cause the spillover effect in your spa. Now, keep in mind when your heater is on and you're in spa mode, you do not want that water to escape, so your spillover is going to turn off. But as soon as you turn it off of spa mode, then those returns will turn on, push more water into your spa, causing that spillover. And then you will get a 400,000 BTU gas heater, which is like heat on demand. It's going to heat that spa up very, very quickly. And then, of course, you will have a controller, but you can also, most people are going to operate their automation off their phone. Now, I don't have the hardscapes listed in the price yet. I do have your allowance. Now, you have to make sure that you don't get caught with this if you go with another builder, which I hope you don't. But if you did, they usually are not going to put this in the proposal. The gas heater has to be hooked up by a gas plumber. We put an allowance in there. They'll charge anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000 to make that connection. We don't know what they're going to charge, so we put a $2,000 allowance. Whatever we don't use is going to come back to you. And then I've already put a discount of $1,000 in there for me and Brian. Now, this is the fun part down here. This legend is going to help you navigate all of your enhancements. Now, anything in orange is going to be shown in your design, but not yet priced out yet. So if we scroll down a little bit, you're going to see that in your design, we do have a tanning ledge, we have a bubbler, but we have not put those prices up here in the package yet. And that's because there's more than one option. And I want you to tell me what you want so I can put it in the proposal, discount it as much as I can, and then send you back a final proposal. Now, anything in yellow is going to be something that we recommend because it's going to greatly enhance your experience as an owner and reduce your overall cost of ownership year after year. So if we come down here, you're going to see an in-floor cleaning system, which is $11,830. This is a self-cleaning pool. This is the best thing you can do for your pool. Now, it's not as important when you have an enclosure. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that button. I was going to show you that in a minute. So let's go back. Go back to where we were. There we go. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit that hyperlink yet. Here we go. All right. Okay, so the in-floor cleaning system. So one of the best things you can do is going to even further reduce your energy consumption because the circulation is as good as it can possibly be. These pay for themselves because you're not going to have to pay for somebody to clean your pool. This will pay for itself in about 7 years. But from day one, you're going to have a much better swim experience. You're never going to have to clean your pool. It's always going to be swim ready, and it's beautiful. It's a wonderful system, and you can hit this hyperlink to see exactly how it works. So you can go ahead and watch a video. You can see all the specs on it and see if that's something for you. So let's go back real quick. And sorry, as I hit the hyperlinks, it makes me start back at the beginning of the proposal. But I'm not going to hit all the hyperlinks. I'm just going to hit a few. But here are all links to all of our equipment that we're going to put in your pool. This is the type of transparency you really need to demand from every single pool builder that you decide to talk to. Because I can tell you right now, they're not going to give it to you. You need to demand it. Because if you don't get it in writing, they're going to put in the cheapest components that they can find, and I want to protect you from that. Now, EcoPool circulation system. This will take you to, and this is our standard. This will take you to those specs, your MDX R3 debris accepting main drain, your Periskim V Venturi skimmers, all of that stuff. Microglass, already included in your proposal. This is how we're going to protect your interior finish. Coming on down here, you're going to see, once again, that in-floor cleaner. You already have the EcoPool circulation system, or you can buy a Tiger Shark robotic cleaner from us, but I would prefer you get a BeatBot and just buy that on your own. Pool builders are going to mark up these things, so I want you just to buy them directly if you can. Now, temperature control. You're already priced out for this gas heater, but the heat pump is this first line right here. This is what the cost of two different size heat pumps are. I would highly recommend the larger of the two. It's just going to get the temperature a lot faster. Now, this is bleeding over to another page, but our tanning ledge is any size or any shape is $875. You have bubblers right now in the design. I have an LED bubbler, but you can swap it out for a regular bubbler for only $449. But the LED bubbler would be an additional $1,900 from what the price you see up above. We don't have any deck jets in your design, but you can click that button, see what deck jets are, see if it's something you'd want. They shoot into the pool from outside of the pool. Let's roll back down here and zoom in. Whoop, there we go. Get back down here to the enhancements. All right. Now, I do put all these links in here because I think it's very important. And you did say you wanted a darker pool, and I think that's amazing. I love the darker pools. Now, if you want to go with the black, like a black onyx pool, that's at that middle tier 2 price point. But you can hit that link, and you can see what black onyx is going to look like in a bunch of different pools. So once again, try to make it as easy as possible for you. And I really want you to evaluate your experience with us with the experience that you get from every other builder through the design and consultation process. It really should be a reflection of what the entire outcome is going to be in the future. So that's why I always encourage my customers to shop around, because they typically appreciate us even more when they meet with other builders. Now, your raised water feature, of course, I'm waiting for a final number, but the best estimate I can get without talking to the supplier of that rock feature is going to be $3,000 for the actual faux rock feature. I want you to realize that if you go with natural rock, actual rock, it's going to be about 3 times as much of this. But here's the plumbing. We would handle the plumbing. We would plumb it up for the other gentleman who does this work for us to come in and actually build out the rock feature for you. But I want to talk to you about that a little bit more. This is a given. I know that number. This one, it could be a little bit less. It could be a little bit more. But I talked to our owner, and he says $3,000 would be a good number to estimate. But you're looking at about $9,000 for an actual rock feature. You can also do raised water features that we shoot in gunite and then put maybe stacked stone on. That would look beautiful. I can price those out for you as well. Tile. So 6-inch tile is what is included, but you can look at the glass tile options from these 2 links. And then, of course, we looked at the pebble already. All right. So your deck, we have 803 square feet of decking. That's the primary deck. And if we go down a little bit further, your patio overlay is 252 square feet. Now, I have price points for each one, and these are all regular prices. Everything in the enhancements is listed at regular price, but I can almost always discount every single enhancement you ask me to put in. You just need to tell me what to put in. Now, I did mention to you that we are a little bit pricey with the decking. It's going to be done right. It's going to look beautiful. We have a 1-year warranty on our paver decks, but I do have another option for you, and I trust this gentleman. He's done work for me in your neighborhood already. You can probably save about $4 to $5 a square foot if you use him. So I'm perfectly fine going that route with you and supporting you in that decision, but I did want you to see our prices. Now, if you want to see what travertine or ivory or like maybe a white leathered marble, because I know you were looking for that really light finish, if you go to that button right there to see the hyperlink, you can see what white leathered marble and a herringbone pattern is going to look at like. This is actually one of my jobs that I did. There you go. There you go. So white leathered marble. There you go. And I want to go back now because we're almost done. Almost done. There we go. I try to put as many links in there so you can see examples. All right, now your patio overlay. Here's the number of the price for the for patio overlay, and then coping. You can also upgrade the coping. You're going to come standard with travertine, as you can see there, but it's only $195 to upgrade to leathered marble. Now, automation. You can learn all about the automation here. Handrails. If you want a handrail, we can install one, but I would recommend you buy it yourself and just have us install it. You can use that link to buy a handrail. Fire pits. I recommend not having pool builders do because they're too expensive, so I'm going to skip that. And here's the price of your enclosure. So this price does, this price is going to include the enhancements that you told me you already wanted. So if you look right here, expanded view system, like a panoramic view on the back wall. You have 2 doors. Mansard style roof, that 3-inch solid insulated panel roof. It's 7 by 34. The area of coverage, these are all the specs. Now, once again, I'll work on seeing if I can get a better price for you, but this is off of our enclosure builder's price book based on the size and scope of the project. But you tell me what you want, and I'll do my best to see if I can work on that price. Now, concrete footers. You do have to have concrete footers to put in that enclosure, so that price is separate. I separate those prices on purpose because we can do the footer, and you can have somebody else do the enclosure if you want. But I would recommend you have us do the footer because the footer elevation has to be right spot on with the pool. And if somebody else does it and they mess up the elevation, then that's going to be a big mess. So I would highly recommend, regardless of who you use for your enclosure, that you have us do the footer. All right, and then construction details on the enclosure here. And then also additional notes. Actually, I want you to... No, we're good. Yep, this is actually the screen. So I did upgrade. I added this upgrade in there already. So this super screen is going to be a polyester screen instead of fiberglass. It's not going to fade. It's going to last way, way longer, and it's going to be much stronger. It will hold up to hurricanes. They will not blow out in hurricanes. But a fiberglass screen, almost always will blow out in a hurricane. So I did add this upgrade in there for you. All right. Now, dewatering, I do expect to dewater in your neighborhood. We've had to dewater in every single pool we built in your neighborhood, so I know there's groundwater, but I didn't put it in there yet because I want you to see what the prices are without all the other stuff. But if you want to learn about dewatering, you can click here, and I wrote this article that describes why we have to dewater sometimes. Go all the way back down. Whoa, there we go. All right, and I have articles at all these points. Now, we do not need special engineering for you. We do not need a stormwater plan for you, and we have decided we do not need limited access because where your lot is situated and you have plenty of access, you should not need any additional surveys like a topographical survey because you already have a regular survey, and that's fine for permitting. You don't have any tree stumps to remove. You don't need any demo. You don't need any additional electrical work. But if you asked us to do for additional electrical work, this would be a good article for you to read. But I like to leave all this stuff in the proposal, even though it's most likely not going to apply to you, just so you can learn more about what people could run across if they're building a pool. Yeah, there you go. So now financing options: Line Financial, HFS, both will finance 100% for 20 years. Rates right now are like 7-8%. And then the warranty statement. So our warranty statement, you just click there and you can get our warranty statement and print that out for your records. Awesome. So that is your proposal. I hope this is helpful. We try to make it easy. You're going to want to get a pencil and paper and add some of those numbers up, but keep in mind that those enhancements are listed at regular price. You're not going to pay regular price. I just need to know what you want me to put in. All right. Let's move on. All right, guys, thanks again. I really appreciate it. Sorry for being so casual today, but it is Saturday and I was running around in the heat and I didn't want you to wait any longer, so I jumped right on my computer to wrap this up. Now, I also apologize about my speech right now. My tongue is just trashed because I've got these Invisalign things in here and it takes a little while to get used to, but so I'm lisping and I'm like, it's a mess. So I really appreciate your patience in that regard, but the bottom line is Southern Poolscapes is the absolute best pool builder in the region. I wouldn't work for any other pool builder. I have become very successful in the industry by working really hard, but one of the reasons that I've become very successful is because I work for Southern Poolscapes, which is owned by Cameron Rhodes, which is one of the premier pool builders in the entire country. He's the guy that's going to travel around and educate other pool builders. We are regularly helping other builders around the country get set up. It is not uncommon to have builders travel here to ride along with me to get some training. So if you work with Southern Poolscapes, you're working with the best. But when you get your other proposals and you start shopping around and you're ready to compare, I would highly recommend you let me come over and look at all your proposals to help you understand what you're looking at, because you're not going to see an apples to apples comparison. They're going to build completely different. They're going to build to the lowest quality possible to get into your yard with the lowest price point, knowing that they're not going to make much money on that pool. So then they're going to come back after you sign a contract and try to upsell you on things and then charge you astronomical numbers for these upgrades, way more than we would. So if they were to match the design and our specs, you would be paying more with them than you would with us, because they don't do those things on a daily basis like we do. They don't have an economies of scale. They're going to pay more for the inputs, and they're likely going to have to put a buffer in there because they're going to not be very confident with their workmanship, and they're going to have to prepare to service a warranty in the future. So I just want to protect you from that, and I hope you allow me to help you as much as possible. Of course, you can talk to Jenny, who you've already met, and I can hook you up with some other people to talk about their experience and how much they love their pool. But at the end of the day, this is your pool, this is your project, and I want to help you make the best decision for you. So hopefully that's us. But I look forward to hearing your feedback. You can give me a call this weekend, maybe tomorrow after you look over everything. We can chat on the phone. I can answer questions. I do anticipate coming out there sometime this next week. I just don't know when yet, but we can go ahead and follow up face to face if you'd like. All right. With that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye now.